Hi, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Andromeda Adventures. We missed you for a couple of weeks. We had some personal stuff going on, and we all kind of had a bit of sorrow over the election, and needed some personal time. But we are back, and we are excited to get into tonight's episode of Neon Resonance, and Andromeda Adventures is looking for players. We've got several games up and running right now. Two set in an Andara, which is my homebrew D&D setting, as well as a Cyberpunk 2020 game that we are looking for a player for. You can find those on startplaying.games/Andromeda Adventures. Check them out. We'd love to see you and love to get some new players. And with that, I believe I'm going to cue that intro. All right, David, take us away.
All right. Well, I will start because it has been a while. Doing a quick recap for both the viewers and perhaps some of the players. Where we left off last time, last session, y'all had basically been doing some practice. You each had your own little downtime. Frosty, you dealt with this new age band at the studio where got a job basically doing sort of support vocals. Bruce got that job. Adzel had was given a bullshit security job because apparently somebody didn't like the fact that he pissed off the asshole client who was going to leave somebody in the combat zone. Somebody who has decent morals. What the hell is that there? What do you think you're playing?
In this world?
Yeah, come on. So you had a bit of a confrontation with that person. X had the visit of an old friend in the police force who was coming in to check in on him. And Sky, oh gosh, I actually can't remember Lich Queen.
I had the woman come to try and get me from.
That's right. The somebody from Arasaka.
Yep.
Yes.
Corporal recruiter.
Yep.
Yes. Miranda, I think was her name.
And she don't look like she likes to take no for an answer.
She does not like to take no for an answer.
No.
As a matter of fact, I think she said as much.
Yeah. He said it wasn't a matter of time, but
That's right. It's always a matter of time. And Todd, you changed somehow. You went from an Hispanic man driving a van to a young Japanese American girl. Kawaii.
I love everything about that.
And you, Havi had a ride, a job with the head of the Pantera clan. They said, "Please come back," and Javi's like, "All right, I'll come back."
he was very easy to convince.
Yes. It's almost as if Javi was like, "No, I'd rather be a young Japanese girl." I'm teasing you. But no, Javi did go back to the Panteras, and instead, as the gang or the band was arriving up at the studio to rehearse, Casey, the daughter of the owner of the Decibel Den, where you're rehearsing, knew a drummer to replace Javi after he left. Sure enough, that was Lucky coming down on a skateboard, I think it was.
Yep.
Right? Y'all had your first actual gig. It went very well, extremely well, as a matter of fact. And after the gig, you were socializing and stuff like that, when a woman with some clear demonic biosculpt Dominique is the actual one. It's a Biotechnica offered Biosculpt cybernetic package. Came up to you, introduced herself as Lillith, and said she had a job for you and to meet her at the Atlantis, where she walked off and she very awkwardly flirted with Shane. I swear she's better at it than the GM is, which is probably it came off as weird.
No, it did come off a certain way. She's the demon. She doesn't speak to mere mortals. She dictates.
Sure, I'll take it. It wasn't bad role playing. I appreciate it. Thank you. So anyway, so she said, "Yeah, find me at the Atlantis." She did not give you a time or date, so it just seems she just expects you to stop by when you wish. So yes. So how do you guys spend the rest of that evening? I'm assuming Bruce is getting drunk because she's Bruce.
Oh yeah, enjoying some drinks.
Yes. Do you spend the 50 eddies you got from the job that same night?
Oh yeah.
In celebration for your first job, actually, Toon pays for your drinks that night.
Fuck yeah.
She's very celebratory. You can tell she seems to be fairly good at her job, but she's young, so probably not the most experienced of fixers when it comes to this stuff. So she's just as excited to have a band that she's representing as much as anything, and so she's celebrating with you. Is really excited because you guys did so well. So you can tell she feels like she may have struck gold, kind of thing. As she kind of is ordering drinks, and the party goes way on into the night, as late as y'all wish it to be. Shall we just say, after moments
Bruce
of blackness,
is kind to keep everybody there and keep the party going,
all right. So when you wake up, having blacked out for the night, where do each of you wake up?
Oh man.
I am at Benson's place. Somehow, some way, I have not only gotten in, but I made myself a midnight snack.
So just to be clear, Benson wakes up that morning not knowing you're there.
Fuck.
No. You know Benson. He's not going to shoot you. That's probably why he went to his place when you were drunk. I just want to make sure he's surprised to see you.
I understand. He also has a sandwich waiting for him.
Okay, all right. It's cold now because you made it while you were drunk and left it out on the table.
Well, it'll still be nice cold.
So,
Pork and cheese.
Yeah. So you Benson walks out of his bedroom, sees you passed out on the sofa. You maybe have just woken up. Your head is banging. You've gotten like a couple of hours sleep tops. Because you came in the wee hours of the morning, passed out on the sofa. He's getting up for work. As a matter of fact, it is now Friday. As he's getting up for work and sees you there, says nothing. He just grabs the sandwich off the table, leaves for a second, comes back, and puts a bottle of of ibuprofen and a glass of water in front of you before he goes and starts taking a shower.
Thank you.
Don't tell me how you got in last night.
I won't, but I imagine that he left the door open by accident.
Yeah. That's probably what happened.
Oh my god.
So who wants to go next? Where do they wake up?
Brucey wakes up at whoever hosted the after party after the bar was closing, at whatever place she ended up to party with people. Wakes up probably on some stranger's couch.
All right.
Grabs a beer.
All right, Frosty, I want you to roll a luck roll for me.
All right.
Roll a d10. Try to roll.
Let's see how many of your kidneys.
Remember, we just started the session, so you get all your luck points back.
Let's see how many of your kidneys were removed.
What?
That
Ooh,
is
for
below
3.
my current luck.
All right, so yeah, so uh, I might have to randomly create an NPC here.
Than the hastily
All
named
right,
Oh
man.
you wake
no.
up. You wake up. Uh, uh, hold on. You wake up uh, in a really, really posh apartment. You're somewhere in the corporate zone. Immediately, you're like, "What the hell did I do last night?" Because for you, this is not okay.
No, no.
But there is clear signs of a wild party. There's at least 2 or 3 other people. One of them's completely naked. Some guy just splayed out on a pool table. Like he just passed out on the pool table completely naked. You're not sure why. There's a tattoo on his butt and it's all red. So he clearly just got it. It's actually really crudely drawn. Part of you suspects that maybe somebody came up to him and tattooed his butt while he was passed out. You don't know.
Sounds like a good party.
Yeah, yeah. There's some like little containers with all kinds of drugs, blue glass, a whole bunch of other things, but mostly it's booze. Lots of empty bottles. It reeks in there. Um, um, there is, however, um, um, a woman who is you. The thing that woke you up is that there's a woman in the kitchen. You can just barely make out her outline. She looks sharp. She looks really well dressed, and she's currently wearing like this really nice like silk bathrobe. Sort of putting together something. You can smell like eggs, like real eggs, um, and um, uh, and yeah, you can see her in the kitchen. There's the door right over there if you just want to bail.
No, I get up and look for a bottle that's still closed lying around somewhere.
There are no closed bottles. This was a party that went through everything last night. There is one open bottle that has fallen over. The floor is completely wet where you see it laying down. Clearly fell over when it was still full. And when you pick it up, there's still a little bit of booze sloshing around in there.
Start drinking that and walk over. Hey, not my usual digs to party, but nice meeting ya.
The woman who looks over to you, she uh, smiles very friendly at you. Looks really, really slick. Her hair is sort of is black with little white streaks in it. So she looks, and she's got a few fine wrinkles. So she's a little looks like she might be a little bit middle aged. Um, uh, and she looks very corpo in terms of like everything is like perfectly done, stuff like that. But you do notice like right underneath the sleeve of the bathrobe, like a tattoo sticking out, and the tattoo has like it says like "fuck you" with like a middle finger on it, but it just keeps sliding in and out of the sleeve. And she goes, "Yes, well, I'm surprised you even remember where you're at. You do remember where you're at."
Oh no, got no clue. It was that good of a party, which tells me it was a good night.
You were very much the life of things, I can tell you that. Yes, I'm Vivian. Because I'm
Bruce.
guessing you forgot.
But
A
nice to
pleasure.
meet
Would you like breakfast?
I would love some breakfast.
Mm, good. I have to go to work very shortly, but you can stay as long as you like. I've notified security.
Oh no,
She goes over.
wouldn't feel right staying in your place after when you leave. I'll leave when you do.
There's at least 2 people there who aren't leaving for at least a couple more hours. So
Well, I'll make
Yes,
sure
they
they
might
don't
be.
mess the place up then.
there, very good. Make yourself useful. I like a woman like that. And she puts down a plate with a couple of eggs, and right then the microwave dings, and she goes over and pulls out some slices of bacon.
So what'd you think
Smells
of the
like real
show?
bacon.
Microwave bacon.
That's one of the best ways to make bacon. Um, she comes over and says, "Excellent. I haven't been to a punk show like that in quite a while."
I kind of figured by the digs, but it's nice to know that the music appeals to all kinds. We normally don't get a lot of the corpo people.
Oh, I like to go to some of the more underground places when I can, get away from some of the more stricter aspects of my career.
I can imagine. I can imagine you like to cut loose a little bit.
I
Working
do,
up there
I
in the
do.
towers is pretty stressful.
I have to be careful, obviously, because I do have work the next day. But luckily, I have a few items that sort of helps me recover quicker.
Oh, I need to pick up a couple of those at some point.
Well, when my company releases it onto the market, you'll be the first.
Good to know. I appreciate it. Out of curiosity, and don't take this the wrong way, but you wouldn't happen to have anything a little bit stronger to let my wash down the 5-alarm hangover, would you?
Well, I do have a bit of a stash. If you look under the sink, it's my reserve bottle. I keep it there, taped, just for parties like this, so I have something when everybody else drinks the rest.
Well, I would certainly appreciate at least a finger of it.
You do like vodka, yes?
Oh, of course. Good Russian water.
Help yourself.
Go around and get...
Yeah, you pull out. It's a very nice looking bottle of vodka.
Give myself just a smidge enough to nurse the hangover. Well, hopefully we'll see you at the next show.
I will very much attend. Yes. Actually, Frosty, why don't you make for me the rocker
Charismatic Impact?
charismatic impact. See if you've made a real fan, or if she just liked the show.
I'm going to put 2 luck on this.
There you go.
Rock on, you crazy girl.
A 10 is going to be a success because I believe I'm looking it up right now, but I
I believe it's an 8 for a single
I
person.
believe it is an 8 for a single person. It is. So yeah, Frosty, she smiles very warmly at you, and she says, "I will definitely be there." And then she sort of walks over. You see her write something down, and she slips you what is clearly her number, and she says, "Please let me know."
Will do.
Steele, by the way, is the name. Vivian Steele.
Vivian Steele? I gotcha. Take it and
What a-
sort of tuck it into her bra.
Yeah.
What a name. What a
yeah.
what a name.
They call her
Vivian Steele.
Heartbreaker.
Mm. Yeah, literally.
I wish
Get it,
I,
Brucey.
I would claim it if I hadn't said like just 5 minutes ago I was doing a random like name trivia. As she goes off in the bathroom, she showers, she gets dressed, and then she's heading out for work. All right.
Yeah, get it,
who's
Brucey.
yeah? Hey. Who's next?
I'll go. Lucky
All right.
Lucky is currently sitting at a big dining table. It's at the orphanage with like a half a dozen kids around her, watching her play the drums and watching the video of their show last night, while she's posting it to her vlog as advertising. And she's gonna call it Tune In Productions Presents.
All right. So is that the name of the vlog?
No, the name of the vlog is Lucky at What.
Lucky at- so anybody who might be visiting the site on the net sees this Lucky at What sort of logo. In terms of style of the site, is being a vlog site, is this kind of like a 1990s sort of aesthetic where things are maybe a bit ugly in terms of like bright colors or clashing, or is it more stylized and professional?
Well, she's good at photography and
She's
all
got some
that.
some aesthetic, maybe graphic design
it's
skill.
it's
a bit.
aesthetic. It's got a little hint of the neon flashiness to it.
All right.
And
I miss when websites used to look like that.
Yeah, little like Angel Fire website kind of deal.
Yeah. But yeah, it's that's where she posts her. What is she lucky at? Like was she lucky at that eating competition? No.
Love it.
But and it says Lucky is lucky at drumming, right? And so it mostly highlights her drumming, but she makes sure she gets the whole picture of their new song that they put together.
Yes,
That's what she highlights.
The name of is?
Oh Oh no.
did
Final
somebody
glitch.
Yes,
glitch.
very good. Which, if
Right.
people wish to hear it,
Uh-huh.
it is now currently in our end credits.
Right.
Music written by Shane, lyrics written by Frosty with help of other people in the group. And you can also see in the end credits, it will list the female musician we hired from Fiverr to sing for us.
Right.
So please, by all means, stick around and listen to it.
Yeah, so that's the main song she'll highlight, and the kids are around her. They're all watching it. You know, they're all excited. Their ages between like 6 and 10, and they're
she's on the older side for the kids at the orphanage.
Yeah. Well, she's
legally an adult
now, so
yeah.
she actually she also, when she sees Matilda, she'll transfer 100 eddies to Matilda.
Okay.
To cover some expenses for the place until Matilda tells her to leave there. She has no place else to go.
All right, so she's basically paying rent.
Yeah, she'll pay rent. Yeah. And so she'll transfer 100 credits, and she grabs her skateboard.
Well, I know you're saying you're transferring 100 credits. Just mechanically remember that you do pay monthly,
right?
For the stuff like that. So please either keep that 100 credits, count that towards your monthly payment.
I would actually. She's already made her monthly payment. She's giving 100 credits that I'm taking off her character sheet to Matilda.
Sure. All right, if you want to do a donation,
she loves these kids and she wants them to have a good breakfast or whatever.
So it sounds like she might have not stuck around that late.
No. Lucky would have, unless they forced her to stay, she would have slipped out like about an hour after the show was over.
I'm sure Bruce would have encouraged you to stay, but
yeah. Well, while Bruce was doing headstand chugs, Lucky managed to slip out the door. And then she grabbed her skateboard. She has yet to have really any contact information on their bandmates, so she's gonna grab her skateboard and haul on down to a Decibel's place to see if she can catch any of them.
All right, remind me, what part of town do you live in?
We never decided.
Oh well, it's character creation. You live in the combat zone. You live out in the suburbs.
It was the edge of the combat zone.
Okay.
We're all combat zones.
Yeah, well, if that's what I'm assuming, wherever the orphanage is, that's where she's staying. So right on the edge of the outside, right? You might as well say border.
I'm just picturing the orphanage run by a nun with a shotgun.
Yeah.
It probably would have to be. So it's what it is. The people in the combat zone. There's a crap ton of orphans in the combat zone.
Mm-hmm.
And so, generally speaking, these orphans, they don't. Nobody in the rest of Night City is going to take them in.
Uh-huh.
So, some idiot, a nun, some of the religious organizations, they do try to go in there and sort of establish themselves in it. And what they do, they pay off the local gangs.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's probably why Lucky's also given that. Yeah, that's probably why Lucky's also sliding that 100 eddies over to help with that.
And yeah, Frosty, I like that idea. It's run by a nun with a shotgun.
Sister Sledgehammer.
That's her nickname?
Yeah.
It's her handle.
But yeah, as soon as she finishes breakfast and she high fives all the kids, she grabs her skateboard, puts her gear on, and heads down to Decibel's place.
Her actual name as a nun is Sister Mercy.
There you go.
That's her. That's the name given to her when she became a nun. You don't know what her birth.
Sister Mercy Kill.
Maybe that's what some people call
it. She has many names.
Yeah, she carries a custom engraved shotgun, which she calls Penitent Fire.
There you go.
Ooh,
in Night City, even the nuns carry guns.
That's
and it's inscribed with the words Judgment and Redemption. AI is powerful these days.
There you go. That's awesome.
Along the barrel, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I feel no evil.
I shall feel no evil.
I'm the baddest in the
valley.
So yeah, that's her morning, and that's where she's headed.
I now have to make NPCs for all these characters.
I love that. I love that.
Okay. 1 second.
Mhm.
I want to keep this secret, and these particular rules don't have hidden right now. So,
Mhm.
yeah, so you don't get very far
Mm-hmm.
before two like street punks sort of come out of an alleyway,
Uh-huh.
begin to catcall you. They don't look like there's any gang affiliated with them that you want, but they're in your way.
All right. She'll attempt to ignore them by going to the other side of the sidewalk, other side of the street.
Okay, they're going to try to follow you,
Uh-huh.
and they're going to try to continue being in the way. So why don't you make an athletics roll for them?
All right. No. Ha! Ha! Take that. 29.
All right, so they rolled a respectable 16, but that's nothing compared to your 29.
Uh-huh.
So not only do
Holy
you
crow.
manage to avoid them entirely,
Mhm.
but you do it with some style.
Right.
Beautiful.
She does that jump up on a railing along the sidewalk and slides it down the railing.
Grinding, I think. it is.
Grinds the railing.
Yeah, yeah.
Kick flips, twists, lands on the down below on the stairs, and continues down the road.
All right. They begin to call you all kinds of names and
That's
stuff like
all right.
that as you go away.
They see the middle finger go up as she races away.
Keep in mind, it's usually pretty dangerous to go through the combat zone by yourself. So that was a lucky
If that's where
roll.
Decibel's place is, that's where she has to go, right?
No, your orphanage is in the combat zone.
Oh, okay.
Decibel's not.
All right.
So you might want to you might need to bear that in mind when you're traveling.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. X and Lich Queen, do either of you have any thoughts on where you wake up the next day?
X already said.
Yeah, I was at Benson's, remember?
Yeah.
Oh,
they
you
would
were
be
a
sane
Benson,
and
so you were
alive.
first.
I gave him a
So-
ham and
yeah.
cheese.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
they're
So
sane
it's-
and
Well,
island.
pork
It's
and cheese,
Shane.
whatever.
I'm sorry, Shane. Yeah. Ed,
Mhm.
So Ed, Zed, or Lich Queen, do
Yeah.
either of you have any thoughts?
As do you want to go first or?
Why don't you go? Why don't you
Oh,
go
okay.
first?
So I would be thinking that she probably since he drunk a lot, she would have flirted maybe with a few people there, and maybe she would have woken up at one of their houses.
All right. Male or female?
Probably female.
All right. So let me see. Okay, so you wake up in an apartment uh, yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, this is interesting. You wake up in a small apartment. It's covered in artwork. The artwork is all hand drawn. It has a very punk, has a very like street art, graffiti kind of look to it. You have some vague memories. Some attractive woman, a little bit older than you. You remember a sharp wit, and sort of messy short hair, neon highlights, covered in tattoos.
Hmm.
But when you wake up, there's nobody there. There's a note on on a little table in sort of like near the kitchen though.
Okay. Yeah, after stretching and kind of rubbing on her face, he would get dressed and start heading over to it then.
Right. Yeah. So the note is written in a very nice, elegant, almost calligraphy style of writing. So clearly somebody took a great big pain of writing very carefully. And it says, "Please stop by the shop downstairs before you leave to say goodbye."
Okay. So yeah, after she makes sure that she has all of her possessions on her, she would
All
make
right.
her way downstairs.
The note is signed, by the way, Vega.
Ada?
Vega, Vega.
Okay. Yes, she would make her way downstairs then.
All right. Yeah. So you looking out the window, you see that you're in Little Europe.
Oh.
And inside the shop downstairs is a tattoo parlor. It's called Inkspire, and you see the sort of the messy short undercut hair, neon highlights, covered in tattoos, wearing sleeveless crop tops and ripped pants, combat boots. Um, uh,
They're
Currently
the one that
working on a
tattooed the guy's
client.
ass.
Might have been. We did not clarify if maybe Lich Queen was at that party. Who knows? But she's working on a client right now.
Yeah. So she's just gonna stretch as she walks down and says, "Hey there."
Sleep well.
Yeah.
Well, what little you got, and she gives you a wink.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Well, if you wish, you can leave your number or not. Just put it by the door.
Sure thing. She would take a loose piece of paper that she could get her hands on and just write her number on it and put it down.
Well, yeah, give me a ring anytime you want.
Sure thing. It was fun.
And she gives a wave before you head out. The tattoo artist, the person there, the customer, is looking and has a bit of a sly kind of smirk as somebody who clearly has found themselves walking in some sort of private, intimate moment between two strangers. He gives you a wry smile as you leave, and he kind of giggles to himself. All right, Enton.
Well, I think with Adzed, I think he's got a little bit of a creative spark. So he's probably been out drinking with them as everybody started to go off and do their own thing. I think he'd drunkenly walk himself and his guitar right over to Decibels and just knocked and wants to just practice. He just wants to very drunkenly practice. Probably wakes him up in the middle of him sleeping.
You know who actually answers the door is Casey.
Oh, Casey answers. Okay.
Yeah, because she's up.
Oh, sure.
She walks over. She's got this little game like a handheld gaming device in her hand. Says, "What the fuck? We're closed."
Hey, shit.
Are you drunk?
Yes. What else would I be?
At 3 a.m, I'd hope asleep.
Can I just practice a little bit? You mind?
You want to practice now?
Yeah. I got the spark.
Can you even play right now?
Sure. I think so. He tries to play. He's probably all right, but it's a little rough.
Just gives a little air guitar.
He goes with his mouth. He goes He's like
you're not gonna make a habit of this, are you?
No. I had a spark. I got the fucking chipping in right now. You know what I mean?
Fine, come on in.
Thanks, Casey. You're a good kid.
Yeah. Don't tell my dad I did this.
All right. Hey,
she heads off. I got to get to bed anyway. I got school in the morning.
Hey, yeah. Stay in school. Don't do drugs.
Sure thing, Mom. And she walks
Don't
off.
do school.
He finds an amp and just it's a little rough at first probably, but
Make a play instrument
I sure will.
with a -2.
Oh, I love it.
And that's,
Yes.
I'm being nice to you with I think a -2.
Oh, yeah. He's yeah.
Seeing how you role
Minus-
played that.
-2 is nice and generous.
I hope he's not gonna wake up anybody.
We'll see how bad he rolls.
Let's see where it's not letting me
Plugs in
put
the
in
amp
a
and you go
minus.
really loudly.
It's not letting me put the minus in.
Well, you
additional
click
mods,
it and
that's
then
why.
yeah.
There we go. And just negative and then 2, right?
Yes.
Cool.
You're fine.
It's good enough.
You put some music together. You think you've hit the spark. Anybody who's listening to you they can tell you're just like averagely playing an instrument. He rolled a 14, by the way.
Yeah. Roll of 14.
Which is not bad. It's actually
Yeah.
quite good, but it's not like
Respectable.
amazing. It's
It's a
respectable.
yeah.
It's a respectable roll.
He's probably
You don't screw anything up.
yeah. He's hitting the power chords, but when he starts to solo, it's a little rough. It's not as smooth as he normally is. He's going for Tony Iommi, and it's more who's a bad guitar player? Machine Gun Kelly? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But Lucky, you arrive at the studio
Mm-hmm.
because you're so far the only person who said they were going to the studio, other than
Right.
Ed said. And you arrive at the studio.
He's still there in the morning.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
assuming he jams until somebody kicks him out.
Mhm.
Okay.
Decibel probably comes in as like, what the fuck?
Decibel, so in the morning, Casey has shown up with a bowl of cereal and is sitting on the couch and just watching you. And she keeps laughing to herself because you're still a little bit drunk.
That's supposed about to be like open the door, unlock the door, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Decimal walks out, kind of looks at you. He looks over at Casey. Casey just kind of shrugs. He kind of.
Hey, Decibel. What's up, bro?
Fucking rockers, and he just sort of walks off.
He's been playing for what time is it? Like 7 or 8?
It's probably like 7 or 8. Yeah.
Okay, he's been playing for 4 hours. Nuts.
Casey looks surprisingly good for somebody who only got like 3 hours of sleep, by the way. But she wasn't drunk before she went to bed. She's a teenager. She can get away
Teenagers.
with that. Yes. But when Lucky shows up, Casey is by that point left.
Mhm.
Apparently Decibel doesn't have anybody who's booked in the morning, so he hasn't kicked you out yet. But he has opened up the shop. So Lucky, when you arrive at the shop, it's open, so you're able to walk in.
Yeah.
Decimal is kind of in the sound booth,
Mhm.
kind of with a hand to his head, rubbing his temples.
She's,
Um,
all right. So she walks in. She's gonna. She squints. She'll walk into. She sees Decibel in the sound booth and sees Ed playing over there. She squints a
Finish
little.
with my woman, cause she couldn't help me with my mind. Oh, hey!
She gives a little wave and goes into the sound booth.
All right, Lucky, what's up?
Hey, Mr. And she's like, "Hey, Mr. D, how long's he been here?"
I don't know. He was here when I woke up.
Oh man, I don't think he's been to bed since they left the club last night, and they were there when I left around 11.
I hope he gets some sleep.
I do too, because that guitar, it's not playing, it's okay, but I don't think it's going to get much better.
Well, for somebody who's still drunk and probably hasn't slept all night, he's doing all right.
Yeah. Maybe.
Free bird, yeah.
I reach over and turn the volume in the sound booth down.
Oh, it's off in the sound booth.
Oh, okay. So all we see is him mouthing
The,
the
the
words.
reason why Decibel's in the sound booth
Right.
is so he can isolate himself from the sound coming from outside.
Uh-huh. Hey, and I say, check this out, and I put the laptop out and push the button to play the our song. He wasn't at the club last night, right?
He was not, no.
Yeah, check us out, and she'll push the button so he can watch them.
Yeah, he's kind of nodding.
Uh-huh.
He's not paying that close of attention, to be honest.
Oh, that's all right. She's pretty excited.
He's being polite.
Yeah.
Trying to be polite.
Uh-huh.
But he's like, the last thing he wants to do is deal with their band right now.
Uh-huh. Well, she'll leave it playing. Hey, I got a question for you though. I was wondering if maybe I could when some bands come in, if I could maybe do some interviews. If they're willing.
I mean, I'll ask
Yeah.
them. But
just-
depending on the band, they.
Yeah.
Do you have like a? Can I direct them to like a screen sheet or anything like that that the interviews will show up in?
Well, I was hoping I was going to try to advertise to some. I wanted to try to get a couple in for examples of me interviewing some people, and then I can take them and show them to some agency and see if they're interested. I mean, I've never done it before.
Well, I mean, like most bands, like they'd only want to do it for publicity purposes. They're not going to
Sure. I'm not asking for any pay, really.
Pad out your portfolio. Yeah, but they're busy. They got lives.
Sure. No, I get it. I'm just wondering,
Look, I'll ask.
Never hurts to
I'll
ask, right?
I'll ask.
And if I make something on it, I'll throw you a few eddies too.
I appreciate it. Sure, that'd be good.
Cool.
I like Shane like rocking on the background.
It's literally just, and at some point he stops, and then the hangover sits in.
That's my call.
Decibel says, wait. And he reaches under in a very convenient place. Like, this is not the first time he started to do this.
Uh-huh.
And he pulls out a bottle of like Alka-Seltzer, some painkillers, and a bottle of water.
She'll grab that and she'll scoot into the studio.
The bathroom's on the right.
Right. Come on, big guy. She'll scoot in there, take him by the arm. Carefully take the guitar off his shoulder. Put it in the stand. Take his arm and then lead him out of the studio. Come on.
Okay.
Did you have fun?
Oh man.
You sounded great.
Thank you. Oh man.
Make a deception roll.
With advantage.
he's like,
or Shane has disadvantage.
Right. I was just going for it, nothing serious. Oh man. The adrenaline hits you and it doesn't hit you until
right.
He drinks the Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah, I give him the water and the Alka-Seltzer and mix it all together.
All right. So let's
yeah.
I think these were all like little fun little intros.
That was great.
But let's progress things a bit. This is now Friday, April 10th, 2020. You have not heard from Toon yet. Last you heard, well, those of you who remember, and it's up to y'all if any of you do remember, Toon was saying she was already working on your next gig, but it's probably going to be at least another week before you get it. She says to keep rehearsing. You never know, and she'll contact you as soon as possible. But you could all use some extra eddies. You did hear from Lillith the other night. Or maybe you could all go and see if you can find other fixers. There are lots of fixers in Night City.
And Lillith was the demonique, right?
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Demonique.
Bruce would be sending a text to everyone as soon as she got the freeloaders out of the apartment and had it out herself.
So about 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah. Sending
Bright
a
and
text
early.
to everyone. Meet in the park or at the Atlantis tonight. Should we meet in the park now or meet at the Atlantis tonight. Let's see what kind of work that Dominique has to offer.
I'm okay with this,
Yeah.
although I do not like how she just flagrantly approached us.
And David, in which
Mm.
district is the Atlantic already?
There are certainly metros within a block or two of it. I mean, I'm looking at the map now. It's in the Med Center, and there are at least a block or two nearby. I'm sorry, metro stops nearby.
Is that by the transit center?
The transit center itself, I believe it's not too far from it. Yeah, it's not far from it, but the
Okay.
transit center, like there are subway stops closer to it than the transit center.
Gotcha.
Yeah, okay. Yep, I found it. I was a bit off. It's actually right on the right on I will real quick.
Oh yeah, can you
Yeah, I will
cool.
transfer you guys over.
All right.
And let me just see if I can. There we go. Let me see if I can. There we go. It is this
I see them.
location right here.
Ah.
Okay. So yeah, from Little Europe, there's a station there, and I could make my way over to Night City Transit.
Lucky would like to make a phone call.
Okay, who are you calling?
4x4. He's the friend of hers from that nomad pack she befriended.
Okay.
Hey, 4x.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't add that to my list of people, but I remembered I befriended a nomad pack.
Well, it's a little tricky because I'm not sure who this person is, so
Oh,
I'm not sure who I'm role playing.
oh, you want me to make it? Well, it just popped into my head because I remembered I befriended a nomad pack, but I never backstoried him, so I can hold off on it.
Yeah, if you could at least on her NPC.
I'll take care of it. I'll get you it too by
provide
next
some
week.
details. Yeah, because
All right.
the thing is, I don't know what Nomad Pack. I don't know what
Yeah.
they do
I get
or
it.
what abilities. So yeah.
It's cool.
Thank you.
Like I said, it just popped in my head. I'm like, well, maybe I can call them to pay for a ride.
Nomads are not going to be in Night City very often.
She'll pay them.
It's probably going to be more expensive than just getting a cab.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nomads expect you to
how
pay
much is a
them,
cab?
and they expect to be.
Then Lucky will look up how much a cab would be to take her from the studio to this place.
Yeah, by book.
Wouldn't it be
is
part of your
20
lifestyle?
eddies. A taxi is 20 eddies by book.
Cool. All right.
Is that a combat cab as well, or is that just
No, combat cabs would be more expensive.
Yeah,
No,
that's
we're not going through the combat zone to get
Oh,
to this
that's
place.
right. That's right.
Hey Z, you finally wake up from the. Hey, get your head out of the toilet. Bruce wants to meet at the park. Do you know what park she's talking about?
Yeah, I think I know. It's over by the med center or something.
Okay.
It's Japantown or something or other.
So the text back to
Frosty, was Bruce referring to Lake Park or
Lake Park.
Yeah, so Lake Park is that's the big park in Night
Center.
City.
Yeah,
So it's actually southwest of the Corp Center.
he's a corp center. It's not far. Well, I know. Oh my God, my head. I know exactly where to go.
excellent. All right, then she'll send a text back to Bruce and say, "What time?"
Now is good if it's good for you too.
Oh, I good. Z's with me.
Hey,
We're heading there now.
I don't know why I did a Fonzie thing just now.
I don't know why either. She's gonna pour him into the cab.
GM's
I'll take 20 eddies off.
GM's rolling something privately.
Okay.
I'm scared. Oh no.
That's always scary.
I'm so scared.
I'm
Oh,
just rolling a
no.
bunch of stuff just to make you nervous.
3.
uh,
If I hadn't mentioned it, would you keep rolling? No.
yeah, so the two of you arrive at the park. What is X and Lich Queen doing? You can
How
all see
far
the text
away am
message
I?
about the times.
Yeah.
Gosh. So I never did establish where Benson lived. I would say for him, he's probably up either in North Side, West of Little or Europe area, or further out of the city than that. I want to say he lives out in North Side.
So how far would I be hoofing it if I could?
On foot,
Ooh.
it's a bit of a walk. I mean, it would take you a couple of hours, I think. Maybe an hour, hour and a half.
Yeah.
And by then, everyone would be there.
They would be.
It's a long walk.
Is that what you're going to do?
No, I will reluctantly just get a cab.
Okay. Yeah, because
That's
there's
20 eddies, you
there
said?
there there is well the thing is though is that there is in Northside right there a subway stop. Do you see that?
Yep.
And then there's another subway stop even on the same line right there near Lake Park, and that's like 180.
Oh. Then
That-
yes,
oh,
I'll take the 180 solution.
Yes, and that's
I will
also true
subtract.
for those of you in Little Europe. There's all these blue lines. You see that? That's the blue line for around Little Europe. So
oh,
you can kind
okay.
of see the subway stops on here.
Hmm. But yeah, so
Cool.
in those circumstances, I would like to walk over to the nearest, you know, uh, metro station and make my way over to the park then.
Sure.
How much would that cost me?
You woke up. We never
Little
did
Europe.
establish where your new.
You mentioned
house-
Little Europe, I believe.
Oh, that's right. Yep. I did mention Little Europe. We'll say yeah. So kind of in the Little Europe area. So yeah, there's a lot of stops out there. So you managed to get to a metro fairly easily.
How much would
Um,
it cost me?
I actually think if you purchased a Metro card,
Which I have not so far, but
then it's only like an eddy or two. I'll say in this case from Little Europe because you have to change lines at least once. I'll say it's 2 eddies. In the case of
the
who was
QA.
up in the north side, that was
Just
X.
curiously,
X is only 1 eddy because it's on the same line.
just curiously, before I do that, how much would it cost me to actually just get a Metro card, though?
It's a good question. I don't know offhand. We have to look that up real quick.
Because that's not something I found in the book, but
Okay, we might have to look at the 2020 rulebook because they do
Okay.
have, I believe, the price of the Metro card in there.
I have it handy if you want me to.
Yeah, why don't you look that up in the meantime?
Yeah.
Or while we keep playing, and then
Yeah.
when you find it, let us know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go from there. That way we don't slow down gameplay.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Look it up. It's like it's not called a Metro card. It's called like the
A
name of
maglev chip. It's
Maglev
25
chip.
cents per station.
Got it.
Okay, so
I just
it's
prepaid for a few stops in. Hey,
there you go. So actually, my 1 or 2 eddies was not too far off. So the maglev chip. So we'll just say, just for the sake of things, that from north side it's 1 eddy, from Little Europe it's 2 eddies.
Cool.
okay.
All right, so y'all arrive at Lake Park. Lucky and Adzed, you sort of stumble out of the bus. Well, Adzed stumbles out of the subway metro stop, and as you climb out, you're walking in Lake Park towards where Bruce is supposed to be meeting you. And Bruce, you were
Walking. I
corpo
was in
zone.
Corp Center, so
So you could just walked over without too much trouble. But so the two of you notice a couple of young people. They look like maybe they're students, something like that, uh, and they're currently being beat the shit out of by a couple of by two people dressed in sort of like religious robes. They are all wearing like some variation of a monk robe or something like that. But they're not real monks. They seem to be. Uh, you can both make streetwise rolls to see if you know who they are. This is my unique take on this particular gang, by the way. So
Mhm. This is me and
you and Lucky,
Lucky. Okay.
and Ted and Lucky.
Let me see. Where is Streetwise?
Lucky rolled an 18.
Where's Streetwise? Oh, here it is.
It's you.
24.
All right, you both recognize the Inquisitors when you see them.
Wow, jeez.
So they are a fairly aggressive gang, but they're anti cybernetics. Anything, any modification you might make to your body, but they're like super aggressive about it. They're like the gang. Like if you meet them in the middle of the night on the street, and they think you have cybernetics, they like cybernetic eyes. They might just stop you, pulling you to an alleyway, and literally rip out your eyes.
Jeez.
So, and you can, and that's when you notice that the two young people that they're beating the shit out of has like one of them has like a cybernetic arm.
Adzad looks at Lucky.
Lucky's already you see her fist clench, and she's already. It looks like she's about to move in.
All right.
And you see her little drone go up.
He said, Adzad says, "You carrying?"
She looks at him confused.
You are you armed?
Yeah, she holds up her fists. I got this arm and this arm.
Not quite what I meant, but it'll
We're not going to start a gunfight here.
Night City.
because
Cops.
oh yeah,
It's not the combat zone.
That's right. That's right. Oh shit. Hey, how do you want to play this?
We pull them off and push them on their way.
How do they look?
They're just using their fists, right?
They are beating up two people with that. You don't see any guns, but they also have robes. They have any number of places they could hide a gun.
Sure.
Okay. Hey, it's up to you. I'm ready to pull it out when them need a ride.
phrasing.
She looks at you blank faced. Weirdo. Not here. You get arrested for that too, she says, as she
Wait, that's not.
she charges
Oh my
she charges
God.
the first one.
All right,
That's not what I. Okay. Well,
all right. So I was planning on having a combat this session with y'all's first mission, but I guess we'll do a combat now.
Oh God.
I don't actually have a park map that is an oversight, but I do have a basketball court map. There are often basketball courts in parks, so that still works out.
Right.
Fair enough.
So I have added them. If you go to the combat thing in the upper right,
Mm-hmm.
you can go ahead and roll for the for yourselves.
All right.
Edza, don't forget your solo abilities.
That's
I'm
right.
Assuming you had your
I believe I had.
you had the
initiative.
option. Okay,
I had.
you had
Sorry.
the option before the fight began to reshuffle your combat sensibilities.
Gotcha. I already had it set to initiative reaction.
Okay, so just bear in mind that it takes an action for you to reset them during the fight.
Got it. Got
So
it.
you'd have to sacrifice a turn essentially to.
Okay.
So yeah, you see them there. Adzed, you see Lucky begin charging in the fight. The two Inquisitors, they're currently beating up the locals. They're paying no attention to you right now.
Let's see. I think Adzed calls.
Also, a little feature, by the way, if you guys select your token,
Yes.
and then hover over the NPCs, you should
Yeah.
actually see a pop up now that shows the
That's-
difficulty. That's a mod that somebody made for this system, so you don't have to actually measure out the distance every time.
Love that. Love
Hover
that.
over your target, and it'll tell you the difficulty hit them.
I think Adzeb wants to move up a little bit. Let's see, what's my? I don't remember my movement allowance.
So it's you can move up to double your movement value in meters.
Sorry, my iPhone
You can
thought
move
I
up
was
to
talking.
double your movement value in meters.
Up to double my movement value in meters. So I have 6, so 12.
Move up to 12.
Move up to 12. Okay, so like up to here.
Yeah, and then you can still shoot or something like that when you do so.
If you click on space,
Okay,
you automatically move.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I can automatically move with
Press
space.
space.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay, been a bit.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I remembered that.
He walks up and he goes, "Now, come on, leave these two alone. You freaking fanatics."
All right. Are you trying to accomplish like an intimidation or anything like that? With
I'm
it?
trying to. I'm trying to make them go. Really, you wanna pick on some random nobodies? Pick out somebody. Pick out somebody. Yeah.
Yeah, you can make a persuasion roll. However, you have not slept at all.
So I have a minus. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to say you have a minus at this point. A -5.
Woo!
You are exhausted by this point.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'll be a bit nicer. Minus.
Well, the -4 you said.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna make that a -3 and spend 1 point of luck.
All right.
If I just put 1 on here, will it automatically update on my character sheet, or do I need to remove it?
I think
on
it
my...
does.
Okay.
I think it will. If you have an option
If
for
not-
luck, I think it will.
Okay. Cool. So.
I'm going to make it an opposed roll. They're going to roll their concentration.
Ooh. 21.
Man, Adzeb really needs to take a power nap.
Yeah, that's
True, but a 21.
Yeah, so the two of them they rolled I rolled a concentration as their response. Not sure if that's the best one. This was a face off roll, would be different, but you're trying to intimidate them.
Mm-hmm.
They look at you. They clearly don't want to get into a fight with you. As they look nervously at this random guy. Can I ask a question though? Do you have any obvious cybernetics? Do you have any cybernetic eyes or arms or hair?
I have EMP threading, which I think would for these people count as any. But as far as exterior, no, I have enhanced antibodies and biomon. So besides the EMP threading, nothing nothing.
Nothing too obvious. Then.
Too obvious, yeah.
So they look at you then. Say, hey, look, just move on, all right? We're dealing with this ourselves. We got these fucking assholes who think that they're better than God and will walk around with these man-made enhancements, think they can perfect the flesh that God has crafted upon their body.
Yeah. God made everybody perfect in their image. Listen. You've got a couple nobodies, or you could come against someone who's got some internal cyberware of their own.
You have cyberware?
Does a bear
face
shit?
palms.
Does a bear shit on?
One of them immediately starts reaching for a gun.
Does a bear shit on the Pope in the woods?
That's it. It's now that person's turn. They're going to pull out a gun and shoot at you.
Okay.
Well, hey, now you can self-defense them.
Oof.
Yeah, you certainly can. 21's a hit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is Night City. You've got like a good 4 hours before the cops show up.
They hit you, but it doesn't even penetrate your armor. The second one's going to pull out their gun and try to shoot you as well.
All right. It's on.
Oh,
Ooh, don't
Keep in
like
mind,
that.
in this game, it's the damage rolls you need to be scared of.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That
that's
just means they hit you, which they wouldn't do, but crits happen on the damage rolls.
Mhm.
You want to be careful not to roll. So they rolled 15 potential damage, which is
Which
going to get through your
means,
armor.
yeah.
Ooh.
How much? Let's see, by 4.
It should automatically take it off your character sheet.
Okay. Shit.
So one of them shoots you, doesn't even penetrate your armor. The second one, though, you could feel it in your arm.
Ah.
The bullet digs into your arm,
Ah.
and
I
as it
missed
does
this.
so, their hands are shaking a bit when they shoot, but because you did kind of intimidate them, but their
Mhm.
fanatical look in their eyes, it overrides it. Um, uh, uh, they seem to be more eager to destroy the heathen than to run away from intimidating random edge
Love
runner.
it. Let's do it.
All right, the two locals are going to roll on the ground in pain. Lucky, it's your turn.
Nah. All right. Well, her drone's up, recording and starting to record. This is lucky. No, I'm just
You can do
gonna
that.
race forward, keeping herself adds it between her and them. So she's gonna move up 10,
Okay.
and she has no weapons.
So that's your turn.
That's her turn.
All right, that's your turn.
All right. Now let's see. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for it and shoot them.
Okay, which one? One on the left or the one on the right?
Let's see. It's the same it's the same difficulty. I'm gonna go for the one on the right.
Keep in mind you can move and shoot first. If it's not showing a, what's your gun? You have
I have the Boomer Buster equipped.
what type of gun is that?
It's a handgun.
So if it doesn't show a 13, then you can probably move closer and have an easier time hitting.
They're a 15.
So try moving a bit closer and then doing.
Okay, got it. So let me. Sorry, I meant to go. Let me go. You go like 5 meters. Get close.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that's a 13. So that's better. Let's. Yeah, I'm gonna hit the one on the right. How do I?
Just
target
go onto your character. You don't have to target them.
Oh, okay.
Go onto your character sheet and press the fist icon next to the gun.
Just hit it. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Let's do it.
That's a hit. Now on the thing that just popped up
Yeah.
above the 21, click the little blood drop icon.
Okay. And I have to click on their token.
No, you don't have to do anything. Just click the little blood drop
okay.
icon.
Okay, gotcha. It didn't. It said
Ignore
no
that.
token. Okay.
All right. Okay, and then so
Ooh.
you rolled an 18 damage. So he takes you. You do 14 points of damage on him, which in this guy's case, it's a pretty nasty wound as your gunshot just sort of digs deep into him. Blood begins to clearly seep through the brown and white of their robe.
I told you to stand down.
Okay, it's now their turn. She actually. Let me just see real quick if I can. Yeah, she is going to scream at you, and she drops her handgun on the ground, whips out some nunchucks, and come running at you screaming. Gonna move up to there. And he gets 2 attacks on you with their
Okay.
nunchucks.
Okay.
14. You. This is a melee fight, so you get to roll evasion.
Evasion. All right. Let's do it. I'm gonna add a single solitary point of luck to that. And confirm.
All right, so they managed to hit you because you rolled a 13.
Yep.
That's probably even with a melee weapon that's not going to get through. You feel the nunchuck bounce off your armor as she
Wow.
gets a second attack on you. Roll evasion again.
All right. I'm not gonna bother with luck. Oh. Oh.
Well, you rolled a 7, so it's
I rolled
still
a
gonna
7.
Yeah, they're still going to get through on you. The luck would have been wasted, so
Yeah, exactly.
And then this time, you take
3.
3 damage as the nunchuck bashes up against the side of your head, and your ears ring slightly for a moment. All right, and then the other Inquisitor, seeing that his companion has rushed in, they're going to rush up as well. Again, dropping his gun to the ground and pulling out his nunchucks. 13, so roll your evasion. And they managed to hit you, and you rolled an 11. Okay, rolled a 5 damage. Let's see if that gets through your armor. It does not get through your armor. You'll roll a second attack. Roll another evasion as you rolled a 15 to hit you.
All right. All right. I rolled a 27.
27. So this time you easily dodge out of the way as his nunchuck swings past your ear.
Not again.
All right. One of the locals manages to get up and begins to stagger away. This is as far as they get. And the next local is going to do the same. As they begin to stumble away. Lucky, it's your turn.
Right. Lucky's gonna race up to this one.
Okay.
Bam! And strike it in the wrist and in the elbow.
Just so your tokens aren't overlapping, you'll be there.
Yep. Strike that one in the wrist and elbow and attempt to disarm her.
All right, so you're going to make a disarm attack?
Yeah.
Good call.
All right. Did you look up the rules for that before you declared it?
Yeah, 15 or higher on 2 strikes. It says once per turn, when you fulfill this requirement, you hit the same target with a brawling attack and martial arts attack. So there's the first strike.
Hold on.
I have to hit the target.
You have to
with
do a brawling
martial arts
attack
and with
a
the brawling
martial art
attack.
Yeah.
Hold on. What?
Once
Basically, it
per
has
turn
to succeed at two
attacks.
melee attacks.
right.
Oh.
So your first attack.
Uh-huh.
So your first attack needs to be a brawling attack. So roll
Or
your
martial
brawling.
arts.
No, it's brawling or martial arts.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Okay, here's
Oh,
my
I
martial
see.
arts attack.
Okay.
16.
Okay, and then they'll roll their evasion. They rolled a 12, so that was a success.
All right.
Then make your next attack, right? Because you have to do 2, right?
Yep.
And you have a
Well,
rate
you
of
also
fire
have-
2.
You also have to roll damage on
Oh.
that one.
7.
That was the damage.
No, that's. I didn't. No, that's the attack.
No.
Ah.
And they evaded it.
Well, I do get to do 1 damage roll, right?
I believe so, yeah. Because theoretically, just so you know, you don't have to declare the disarming attack beforehand. You would roll first, and then you get to then see if you do that afterwards.
You have to do one brawling, one.
Oh, I rolled the wrong one. Here we
Yeah,
go.
yeah. So go up to
Yeah,
to the
go up.
16 you rolled. Yeah, you go.
Yeah.
So 6 points.
All right, so 4 damage went through. They are still
Alright.
up though.
Mm.
They look pretty badly hurt.
All right.
That's it.
That's her turn.
All right. Adzed is gonna shoot the new guy that came up.
Okay.
All right. I'm just gonna go for it. Oh my god.
Too many ones today.
Oh,
Oh.
no.
A 15 still a
Two
hit.
ones. Okay. Okay, good.
They don't have enough to roll evasion. It's still a pistol
Still-
shot at close range, so 13.
So
So roll damage.
roll damage, okay. 13 damage.
So he takes 9. That's the first damage he's taken, so he's still up.
Okay.
Just
Down, boy.
for everyone. All right, they get to go. The woman who's next to you is going to strike at Lucky with her nunchucks.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Rolled a 25 to hit. You get to roll your evasion there, Lucky.
Oh man. Explode. Oh.
So they managed to hit you with the nunchucks for
Lucky still got a 20 though. Damn.
only 4 damage, which doesn't even get through your armor. As they bounce off whatever. What type of armor does Lucky have? Like
Light armor jack and mimic clothing.
so your clothing, it's embedded in your clothing. So you have
Right.
light armor jack. So it doesn't look like you have armor. As a matter of
Right.
fact, the Inquisitor looks a bit surprised.
And she just go,
He
ow!
whacks you on it.
And she says, ow.
Mm-hmm. Owie.
You
Owie.
pretend like it hurt. Oh my gosh, it
Yes.
hurts so
Ah,
much.
my elbow.
Ah.
You hit my uvula.
The Inquisitor just sits there, and you can tell there's one where she's like, "What's an uvula?" The next one's going to attack Adzed.
All right.
17 Adzed. Make your evasion roll.
Evasion. Damn.
Yeah. See if they manage. Ooh,
Ooh.
Everyone
disadvantage.
hydrate. We've got a
Oh.
redeemed hydrate on the stream.
Oh man.
Does
Wow,
tea
come on,
count?
Ed's Ed.
No, seriously. does
I
tea count?
I think anything counts.
Yeah.
Like I only had a little drop of whiskey left. Thank you, hydrate.
Thanks,
Thank you. Who sent the hydrate?
Dantulu. Thank you, Dantulu.
Oh, thank you, Dathulu. Oh my gosh, Dathulu, it's been a while. All right, so that was now the two locals. they're
Hydrate
gonna
with
keep-
some Coke.
The two locals are going to continue their running. And
Oof.
Lucky, it's to you.
Lucky, idiots, pick up the guns and shoot them. Then she's going to try to hit this one twice.
They're just running. They're running scared. They look.
Okay.
One of
One,
them's slightly limping.
15.
So this is yep. Okay, let's see if they will try to evade. They fail to evade. Roll your damage.
Yeah.
She swings and strikes him in the ribs for 7.
You
And then
killed
swings again.
All
Take this.
right.
Ha! 21.
Hold on.
Yeah.
That person's dead. Are you beating
Oh.
their dead body?
Huh? No. She still has movement. Can she do her second attack on that other guy and move up closer?
You're next. It's not clear on the map, but you're next to him, so you can.
Okay,
But before you do that,
Uh-huh.
describe how you kill this person.
Oh, is it have to be a kill?
It is all
Yeah.
lethal.
They're dead.
Okay, yeah. She ducks under the nunchuck and then comes up with the chop right into its larynx.
All right, the person you hear him coughing as they fall over
Thud.
dead.
Then she spins around him and comes in and punches this guy in the kidney.
All right.
For
Well,
21.
Damn.
we'll see if it succeeds. It succeeds.
Yeah.
Oh.
You do maybe punch him in the kidney. Roll your damage.
Yep.
Let's see it. Let's see. 2
confirm.
6s.
Yeah,
7 points to the kidney.
No
Go.
crits yet. No crits yet.
What is it? Double rolls or crits?
Anytime you roll on damage,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
double 6s. It's
I
Gotcha.
can't
Yeah.
wait for Brucey to crit with her teeth.
It's gonna be great.
That's
gonna be so bloody.
fantastic.
That'd be awesome. Well, let's see if we can't wrap up this combat quickly, so we can
Yeah.
make that
Alright.
opportunity for us. Adzed, can you finish this guy off?
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna. Since we're kind of close, is this considered point blank range?
They don't really have point blank in range.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's a 2020 thing.
All right.
So
Well,
it's
then I'll
just the same 13 that you would shoot otherwise.
got
There's
it.
also no like melee penalty or anything.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay, yeah. He's just gonna shoot him.
All right, go for it. That's a hit. Roll
All
damage.
right.
Ooh.
Ooh.
They're very dead. Describe their death to me. As you did 16 damage to him.
So as that guy gets, you socked him in the kidney,
Yeah.
Lucky. All right,
Yep.
she socks him in the kidney, and Adzed just
knifed him with the side of her hand.
Oh, okay, yeah, like a chop,
Yep.
chopped him. Okay, so she chops him. Adzed puts it to his head, and he said, "Now, why didn't you just listen to me before?" Bah! And shoots him right dead in the between the eyes.
All right.
And Lucky jerks back because blood gets all over her.
Ah!
Not quite Evil Dead levels of blood. Maybe just.
Sorry about that, kid.
All right.
Are you okay?
I've been better, but I've also been worse. How about you?
Oh, they didn't touch me.
She's
gonna pocket the 2 nunchucks and run over and grab the guns.
Hey, smart move.
All right.
Smart move, kiddo.
They had with them.
Uh-huh.
Hold on. They had Federated Armed Super Chiefs.
Ooh, that's a decent firearm.
No, they are poor quality.
Oh, really?
Handguns. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're actually
okay.
pretty shitty.
Okay.
They're heavy pistols.
those were the-
46.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Oh,
Federated Arms is a company that makes a bunch of different guns. They're better Federated Arms handguns.
I might be
Super
thinking of
Chief.
a better one.
In
Yeah.
2020, the Super Chiefs are a really good gun.
Puts them in her. She finally has something to put in her backpack.
But they also don't really do the poor quality stuff in 2020.
That's true.
They
That's
just-
true.
So.
Oh yeah, bring the gun to school.
It's a heavy pistol.
All the other
It is a heavy
kids with
pistol.
their
If you go to equipment, you can see it there. Here,
Yeah.
or I can add to your sheet later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
I've
putting a
got it.
note.
Yeah, during break we'll do that.
All
So
right, cool.
speaking of, so you guys, you do this up. The police have not shown up.
That's right. But Lucky has it all on tape to show that they shot first. So she brings her own bracket back and puts it on her belt.
Okay,
That's all she
Alright.
wanted it for, to show that they shot first.
sure. It was self-defense.
Mhm.
But the police haven't shown up yet. Are you guys going to stick around and wait for them, or
Heck no, we're gonna drag the
that.
body. Hey, come on! She grabs one body and starts.
No.
No,
Leave
Are
their
we gonna-
bodies. Leave
leave
their
them?
bodies.
Oh, okay.
Leave
And she
the
wipes
bodies.
off where she touched him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's get out of here. Hey, look, the
Yeah.
park's right over there.
Yeah. Let's head over there. Let's check in on these locals real quick to make sure they're all right.
they're gone?
Oh,
They got any walkies?
They never stopped running.
Oh, they kept running. Okay, I saw them
They
off to
saw
the
an
side.
opportunity and they took it.
Good,
They're-
as they should.
So Bruce, you're waiting at the park. Yeah, Lucky, and Hudson said he'd be here like 15, not that late. Like, look, they may have been delayed like a minute or two, but they just said they got off the subway, like on a text. And I thought they got to be here like any minute now. And you look up, and you see Adzed with some blood like seeking through some of his clothes on his shoulder.
And you guys had a
maybe
party
few
and you didn't
bruises.
invite me?
And,
Lucky's wiping her face off.
Yeah, you see blood as she wipes her face off.
I mean, I think that would have woken up
No,
Adzed.
Lucky. Leave the blood on. It'll intimidate the hell out of anyone you run into.
But
It
we're
ain't,
running into our fixer. We don't want to. Whatever.
It ain't her blood.
Getting saw like that must have woken him up.
It ain't her
And-
blood on her.
And X and Lich Queen show up shortly thereafter, and we will pick up again after the break with everybody in the park, so you can plan your next moves.
All right.
All right. So where we left off, we did do a bit of rules checking for those of you who might have been screaming at the screen for how I was dealing with the lack of sleep from Shane. Shane, I need you to make an endurance check, DV 15.
I am going to add a solitary point of luck. I might as well. Yeah. Oh, bother.
An 11 is a failure.
Yes, it
So
is.
until you get a good night's rest, you have a -2 to all of your actions.
Oh. Got it.
-2 is not as bad as.
It's not as bad as what I was doing. So.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Still not great though.
No.
So yeah, where we left off, everybody has just arrived at the park. Bruce was commenting on Sky and Adzed's appearance. Are you guys going to head straight over to the Atlantis now, or something else? Or
I wanted to get everybody together and then sort of talk. I'm thinking that we should, start doing some work in Edrun a bit. I think we should check out what this Dominique or Lillith or whatever her name is. I think she said she had some work for us, so I think we should take her up on it. What do you guys say?
Yeah.
I mean, I know
done
you
that.
just got shot, but are you up for some work?
Hey, yeah, I could.
You can walk it off. You can
I've
walk
been
it off.
worse.
You'll be fine.
I've been worse. I've been worse. I've been better, but I've been worse. Yeah, let's do it. You got any? Hey, you got any synth coke or something to get me
I
get my
forgot to
head back
grab
on
the
straight?
leftovers from the party.
Shit. Yeah, well, can always find some.
it was a corpo party, so you know they had synth coke.
Oh,
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. And probably somebody at the Atlantis will have something.
I'm sure.
You
I'm sure.
probably will find something. Yeah.
Yeah.
None of you guys can doctor him up a little bit?
I can make it worse.
Maybe.
I mean,
yeah.
the,
maybe.
I mean,
maybe
the
You
hole.
want me to look at him?
The hole's right there.
Oh
you want
yeah,
me to look at
actually.
him?
Yeah. Could you?
What do you want me to roll, GM? First aid or paramedic?
You can roll either. This is just to stabilize him, just so that he'll have the chance to heal. And I've got to actually look up the difficulty for that one. I think that should do it though, because you're more than half, right? You're not seriously injured, correct, Adzed?
Yeah. No, I'm at 33 out of 45.
Yeah. So where's the trauma team?
Lightly wounded.
Yeah, so it's DV10 for lightly wounded.
Oh, perfect.
You would have been fine even at seriously wounded. It's only DV15 when you are mortally wounded. So that's when you go down to 0. So you are stabilized, which means that X. I'm assuming you check it out, pull out some bandages.
It's not as bad as you think. Let me patch you up.
Thanks, bud.
Don't expect no kisses for boo-boos.
Ah.
I
But
want
they
to see
make it
that
all
now.
better. But they make it all better.
I like how you're doing that in a gravelly voice too.
Oh, give me a boo boo. Give me a kiss on my boo boo. Ooh, that sounded weird.
Information on the world of cyberpunk. The place that we're at, or the area we're in, is it known to have any video cameras? Do they monitor stuff like that? Is that something we should worry about, being caught on camera?
Well, you filmed us.
What?
You filmed us.
I did, but that was to protect myself.
I think that's probably
I'm talking
good.
about like public camera, like secure, some sort of camera for the police or law enforcement.
In the corporate zone,
Okay.
there are cameras everywhere.
Okay.
They're not always run by the police. A lot of time they're
Sure, it's private security,
corporate
stuff like
security, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
In the lake park, there are cameras.
Uh-huh.
You don't know offhand if there are any that caught you.
Uh-huh.
To the point though, you did wait till you got shot at.
Right.
Yeah.
So you do, unless you're really, really paranoid, you probably do think you have good basis for self-defense. Not only that, but you walked up on them while they're beating other people up.
Sure. I'm just curious. That was for my own information. Going forward.
You might or might not do it. Generally speaking, in the world of cyberpunk, though, street violence is so really common. Even if you got caught on camera, unless the police have to prioritize all the shit they're investigating. Sure. They don't investigate most gang fights unless they're going there to break it up.
Gotcha.
But after the fact, if people get killed, they're like, there's not much we can do about it. Move on. We gotta worry about saving the people being shot now.
Gotcha.
That kind of stuff. So you probably don't have to worry about it too often unless you're doing something really heinous and bad.
Yeah, no, we're good.
You probably have to worry more about being harassed by the police if you like walk around with an assault rifle.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
them actually, especially if you're fighting gangers. Like,
Oh, yeah.
the police know what an inquisitor looks like. So
Like he's gonna be like, well, Brucey, I've never done this edge running stuff you've called. I've heard about it, but yeah, I mean, I could always use some more eddies. Everybody else, right? Yeah.
I could
Fuck
definitely
yeah.
use some moolah.
Fuck
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Eddies make the world go round.
I knew a guy named Eddie.
Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
Shit says
What happened to him?
That's a nomad she knows.
Ah, he's a.
Crazy, and
Hey,
he likes to put
and if
people
you're-
on spikes.
And if you're worried, kid, about the little tussle we just got into, I think we were doing community service, so I think we're
Oh,
good.
yeah. Well, I know those guys don't like cyberware and stuff like that. So
Yeah, they're dicks.
yeah.
Were they dressed fancy?
Nah, they were in monk robes.
Ah, then you're fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
No, we're definitely fine. They're still back there laying on the ground, bleeding out.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, they're long dead.
She does a couple. Ha.
Oh, gotta watch out for the karate lady, don't I?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go
Let's
go
do
see
it.
if we can find the lady with the tail.
all right.
Let's do it.
You guys managed to make it back to the metro without
Mm-hmm.
any incident, and it's only a couple of blocks from the train station near the north end of Japantown, where it kind of borders the Med Center area and Corpo area, kind of in that area. My version of it. Oh,
I do want to say, looking to Lucky, Bruce kind of leans in and says, "All right, look, kid, since you're new to all of this, and you seem a little gun shy after your encounter, just remember, if you want to avoid trouble, you just gotta look like you're a total badass. You just gotta make people think that you're that dangerous to fuck with. Then they ain't gonna touch you."
She nods, looking like at her new sensei.
does she do like a cool like?
No. She says, "I did get some guns." She opens up her bag.
Nice. We can sell those or use them. And keep in mind, even if you're good with your hands, you should also try and consider packing some iron, just in case. You don't want to run into a whole bunch of bullets on your way.
Oh, that's fair. She nods.
Don't worry, kid. I'll look after you.
All right.
And then when Lucky dies, we'll have a dramatic scene when Bruce has a flashback where she promised to look after him.
Oh no.
What do you mean when?
Oh no.
I mean that, Todd. Watch yourself with me.
And she was 3 days from graduation.
That's right. 3 days from graduation and retirement. With a wife back home who's newly pregnant, about to have kids. Y'all arrive at the Atlantis. Now, my version of the Atlantis is a little bit different from what you will find in the Night City book, so I will describe it. The Night City book, for those of you who aren't familiar with the 2020 book, it's like in a stadium on a second floor. My version, with a little inspiration from perhaps one of Frosty's characters, is actually inside like an aquarium. And so there are fish tanks sort of lining up with neon lights and stuff like that. Really posh kind of dance floor. It's a large area, has multiple levels of multi-level dance floor, a performance stage where there's currently a band. You guys look at that stage and go, someday that'll be us, kind of.
That'll be us.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll get here.
That's right. Neon Pulse will be up there. We know it. You walk in, the place is jamming. It's going nuts. It's a lot of like somewhat kind of corpo kind of types mixed in with sort of some mid range. A couple of edge runners, but this is not the well known edge running hangout. That for those of you who might know that place, that would be a place known as the Afterlife, which you have maybe one or two of your characters have been there. Certainly not X because he's new to town, but that's a totally different type of bar.
Adzed probably went as a +1 at some
You
point.
might have visited there. None of you have really edge run before,
Yeah.
so it may not be a place you've regularly visited, but you might have gone there, like to your point, as somebody else's.
I've been drinking there. You know,
Yeah, there you go.
smoozing
Um,
with the.
Yeah. If you guys ever play at the Afterlife, you know you've made it up there. So yeah, the place is going on very quickly. She stands out. She literally looks like a demon, and there aren't too many people who look like that. Is Lillith sort of sitting off in a corner? There is a pretty woman sitting on her lap. There is also this sort of large, well-built man who's kind of just sort of standing there. Clearly, he's there to try to look as intimidating as possible. His arms are crossed. He's big. He's heavy set. He's got a lot of obvious cybernetics, and he just sits there and just stares at everybody. And this is like a little booth in the corner, and it's like clearly Lilith is sitting in that booth like she owns it, like it's hers. Do you guys immediately approach? Do you want to maybe?
Bruce looks a little distracted by the aquariums. This is her favorite bar in in the whole city. You know, this is where she likes to come to.
That would make
get a
sense.
drink on.
You might have seen Lilith before without knowing who she is until now. Like, you know, maybe you didn't know her because you weren't in the fixers and edge running beforehand. But she stands out in a crowd, and if you've been at this bar before, at any point you would have seen her.
Oh yeah, just never, knew Fixer stuff and had always tried to get a gig with Fixers, but no one ever wants to take you when you're solo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gotta have.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you might have tried to talk to her once, and you got turned away. Who knows?
Lucky he's gonna elbow Adzet pump.
I'm,
Z, I think she was into you. Maybe you should talk to her first.
I'm not looking my best though.
You look awesome. She
I
wipes
don't
a
think
smudge
she
of blood
cares
off
about
his
that.
face.
Just like spit on a rag and like.
Yeah.
Gross.
Ooh.
What is that movie where it's like the mother begins spitting on her fingers and
Yeah.
rubbing the mark off of the boy's
No,
face?
she just uses the
Mhm.
cuff of her sleeve.
Well, let's roll up.
Let's
Yep.
do it.
Act
I'm
like
gonna
we
start
own
making
the
my way
place.
over.
And
So you approach. Lilith sees you approaching. She smiles. She whispers something to the woman on her lap, who stands up. The woman is herself. Looks like she's been through body sculpts, not of the exotic type, just various sort of body sculpts to make her look like particularly attractive or things like that. She's wearing like tight spandexy kind of stuff, and then you realize when you look around at like a couple of women in cages dancing around the bar that looks like one of the bar's dancers, perhaps. When she stands up and the woman that was sitting on her lap stands up to leave, Lilith sort of reaches over and just sort of gracefully, kind of like with the tip of her fingernails, just sort of runs her fingers down the girl's back. And the girl kind of shivers a bit as she walks off. And then Lilith sort of waves you over with a very gentle kind of smile.
Yeah, see, I told you she's into you. Nudge, nudge. Pushes him.
as I'm
This
slapping
isn't very
my-
effective.
Yeah, it's like goes, how's it going?
I'm glad you and your friends can join me. Would you care for a drink? It's on.
lovely.
Sure, yeah, love one. Whiskey.
One whiskey. How typical. Anyone else?
BMF.
They know how to make an Incredible Hulk here.
The bartender's fantastic. I don't know what an Incredible Hulk is, but I guarantee you they do.
Then I'll have one of those. A little taste of home.
Okay. Anybody else? You have one whiskey, one Incredible Hulk. A BMF, is that what you said there?
Yeah, bad motherfucker.
Bruce?
Lucky gets a little bit of a daring look in her eye, and she says, "Do they have real apple juice here?"
Hey, kid.
We'll find you something, don't worry.
Excellent. She looks satisfied.
Only the best.
And Miss Lich Queen, I believe. Did you wish to have something?
Yes. Give me a sour.
One sour it is. And she nods at the muscle dude who walks up to the bar, puts in the order, and as he's doing that, please have a seat. I think there's room in the booth for all of us. It'll be a little bit tight, but I don't mind getting a bit close if you don't.
Not at all, though. I'm a little
Lucky puts his
worse
ads
for
next
wear.
door.
Says, hope you don't mind. I've been a little worse for wear.
Looks like you've been shot.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit beaten.
observation. Yeah, a little bit. You should see the other guy.
I would imagine, since the fact you're with me this evening or afternoon, that they are not doing.
I can practically see through them.
Oh, they're they're not still breathing exactly. As far as I know.
Night City is filled with wonderful surprises. You never know what you'll encounter. Any given day.
True. It's true. Hey, I grew up in the combat zone. I know to expect anything.
The sort of big bodyguard-looking guy comes over, comes back morning the drinks. A few minutes later, a waitress brings a bunch of drinks over, and Lilith sort of herself gives each of you your individual drinks.
Thank you.
She herself is drinking this sort of ruby red wine, and she sort of brings them and says, "To new partnerships."
The new partnerships.
And she would then sip on her whiskey sours.
So, you all seem to be quite capable, and I dug a bit into each of you. I think you're all a very capable group, beyond being just a band. And I have some work that might be appropriate of such skilled and attractive people. I have two options for you. You could take the, relatively speaking, safe option. Payout isn't as good, but you know.
What's door number 2?
Wow, I did not even finish mentioning door number 1.
Let us hear the details, Tax.
Well, I mean, that was the gist of door number 1. I mean, door number 2, well, you'd be doing a very good deed. But I guess one of you is likely to die in the process.
What's the deets?
Well, the deeds require an acceptance job. I'm not going to tell you the job until you accept it. I can tell you that one has some relative danger. It might involve possibly pissing off a gang of some renown to a degree, but nothing that they'll remember, I promise you that. The other job is quite dangerous and pays commensurate. But you know what? You're a new band, right? Trying to make a name for yourselves, trying to build a rep. You're not going to earn a rep doing the nice, safe, easy jobs.
Betcha if we take betcha half my pay that we all come back from door number 2.
Hey, don't bet it until you know what it is, Brucey.
I like to play dangerous.
Hey, it's your pay.
Seeing Bruce do that, Lucky's like, yeah, we play dangerous. And totally flubs it.
Lilith gives you a smile. She gently puts her hand on top of Lucky's hand and says, "It's so sweet when they're so innocent. You just want to eat them up."
She shivers.
She punched something.
And as she moves her hand away, she kind of like lightly runs her fingernails along the back of her hand.
Adza goes, she punched somebody to death today.
Oh. Even I It's even more attractive.
Lilith is gonna look over at Axe and say, "Why are the people born in Night City always the most reckless?"
It's not Night City. It's anywhere where violence is dominant.
In these streets, you just gotta sink your teeth in and hold on.
Big
Yeah,
risk,
sink your teeth in.
big risk, big reward. That's the way I view it.
Fair enough. What's I guess since we're all in agreement about door number 2,
Yep.
what are the details? What's the dirty deed?
So that's it. You have all decided to take the job. I just want to
I'm
make
with
sure.
them. Unfortunately, for better or for worse, where they go, I go.
Well, it seems reckless to accept a job without knowing details, but sir.
All right. Well, you have really dove into the deep end. First job, and you're already dealing with your first cyber psycho.
Goody.
I have a young woman who has approached me. She is in some danger. Apparently, she has an ex. Well, she didn't describe him as an ex, maybe current boyfriend, I suppose. Ex now, that's for sure. Who disappeared for a while and now has reappeared, cybered up, and has made some very disturbing, dangerous, scary comments about wanting her dead.
Oh, no, we can't stand for that.
Oh,
Now,
I'm
can
in.
we?
Yeah, like he's like, I'm in. Absolutely.
Ah,
She would
Well.
just, she
Clearly,
would just,
Lucky
like,
doesn't. She doesn't like this.
she would just take her gun and
Whoa.
kind of crank it and say,
Now let's get some details about this cyberware here. Let's
I do not have any details, I'm afraid. I do know that from what she has been able to tell me, now she herself knows a little bit about these things. This poor young woman, that she says she's never seen cyberware like it before. Somewhat experimental, she thinks it might be.
"Borgware?"
I do not know if it's Borgware or not. But it certainly does seem to be pretty extensive. And well, certainly caused him crazy. Now, because of the danger of this job, I'm going to pay well above normal. It's going to be 2,000 for each of you.
Lucky's
And I'm
jaw
only-
drops.
I'm only offering this because, like I said, big risk, big reward.
a decent return.
I pay my associates very well. Well, commiserate with the danger of the job, of course.
One concern I have is as you had success with gathering cyber psychos before, is this like a
This is not-
job you don't expect
this
to
is
come
not
back
a-
from?
I don't expect anybody to survive a fight with the cyber psycho. Imagine
fair.
a person with more cybernetics than even the most average solo or the most advanced solo. Somebody who's
That's
gone
fair.
to the point of almost no return.
Any
That's
of you
fair.
got a microwaver? Otherwise, I might have to build one.
Well,
Like an EMP.
No,
time-
EMP grenades are more expensive.
Oh,
the timing of this is very important.
okay.
She already has threats, and your job is to keep her alive. So I would need you to go to her now.
Well, we can't leave her
Shit.
alone, can we? Not with a crazy ex-boyfriend.
That's my thinking. You see, clearly this is a woman who herself has dealt with maybe far too many hardcore fans. Oh my god.
What do you mean by fans?
I don't know. I mean people who are obsessed.
Oh no, I mean, who is she? We need
Who's
to know
who?
that. The person we're protecting.
Oh,
I
oh,
think
oh.
I think Lucky is under the impression that this is somebody of
This is
import.
nobody famous. No. Her
Oh,
name's
yeah.
Mara Ortega.
That sprite's going
She's
right to your head, Lucky.
yeah, I was referring to your associate Bruce. She had related that she was used to being perhaps stalked or things like
okay.
that. I was commenting somebody
Is
sounds like somebody who's used to a fan who is perhaps obsessed with it.
Understood. I got you. I
Yeah,
see
yes.
eye to eye.
It's not as interesting when I have to explain it, but I understand that sometimes that makes me
if normally I would just go right into this, but I will be
I
fully upfront.
you have accepted the job.
True. This is just this is not a required ask, but it's just
I will help
Something
you in
that
any way
could
I
help.
can.
yes. So let me be frank. I'm a bit injured, still a bit tired from last night.
Then you should have gotten better night's rest, I'm afraid.
That's true. Do you know anywhere I could find some?
Pick me ups.
Yeah, some lubricant, some synth
What?
coke,
What?
for example.
Did we actually look up the rules for synth coke to make sure it actually help you?
Did you actually say the word lubricant?
Yes.
Man.
Lillith
I
has
looked up-
plenty of lubricant.
Not
We got to stop. This is
social
a
side.
family.
The
It's not a
social
family-friendly
side.
show, but we got to keep it rated. We are rated.
God damn it. So I did look it up. What it does, it doesn't exactly remove the minuses, but it adds a 1 to your reflex. So, and it could
Yeah.
go above 8. So it
would offset it. It would offset it by some.
yeah, exactly. So
Um,
that's my thinking.
All right. Well, let me real quick. Let me make a roll.
I got the money for it. I'm good for it. It just might help us out.
Well, I have connections, and I might have a supply. I expect the people I hire to be able to complete the job without me having to pump them up full of drugs.
Understood.
I'm very willing to help you, but I do expect payment.
Oh, of course. I didn't. No. I'm good for it.
Well, sometimes I meet people, they come in here half exhausted or more likely drugged out or in withdrawal,
yeah.
desperately needing a connection. And they're like, oh, I'll do a job for you if you'll just give me this one drug.
No. I
Don't you
got
just drink coffee for you bumping me up.
if you can just get me 100 Eddies worth, then I'll be good solid.
It's 20.
Yeah.
That's five.
Yeah. That's five
uses.
5 doses.
Yep,
Yeah.
you can go ahead and add that to your character sheet then and spend
All
She
right.
definitely knows that many.
So, Miss
All
Lilith.
right.
Just dear,
Where
just
do we-
Lilith, dear.
Oh, yeah. Lilith. Where do we find her? And because we need to get to her as soon as possible. Obviously, she's
Yes,
clearly
yes.
in danger. So we should.
Well,
get to her.
if you're ready to all go, I'll be happy to tell you where she is.
Yeah. Looks at
ready.
everybody else. Everybody else ready to go?
So she's a
As ready as
couple.
I can be.
She's a couple blocks away
Mm-hmm.
in a no-tell motel.
I heard
One.
about those.
They're a good place to hide a secret, whatever that secret might be. Yes, it's the one she gives you a street address.
Okay.
Okay.
I want all of you to make perception checks.
Okay.
Oh no.
Sweet. Perception is there. Come on, perception. Bam. Big money. Yeah.
Not good,
Oh,
not bad.
roll off the 10.
Gonna put a
Look,
couple
you got a
points of
16.
luck.
I got a 14.
Might as well use this.
As well, we'll be finishing up soon. Unless this is a perception check to know if a
17.
fight's about to break out. All right. Just. I hate the layout of this book. It's like the worst. To your point, Frosty, our telesaurian. Y'all need to get your shit together. It's not like you haven't been doing this for 40 fucking years. 30 years. 30 years. Late 80s, right? It's 35. It's going to be 40 years pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And they still don't know how to make proper books.
it's Mike Podsmith is still associated with the company. I think his wife freaking runs it. After all that years of experience, you think, yeah, maybe they'd be better at laying out their books. I was trying to look up the DVs for stuff, but I'll just wing it. Because we've got at least 116 and a 17. So that's definitely. I think there's like a 13 is a difficult one. So I will say that Lucky and Bruce, as you're sitting there talking to Lillith, and she mentions that address. There is somebody clearly on the other side of the bar. So you wouldn't normally think of that as somebody who's maybe eavesdropping, but the speed by which that person stands up and begins to leave the minute the address is mentioned immediately causes suspicion. They're heading towards the door.
Oh, fuck.
You guys see that guy?
Yeah.
She points.
You gotta get him.
No, he was listening.
Oh, all right.
Far
Let's gun it. Let's
Lillith, well, go.
We
Yeah,
go,
Bruce
go.
is already getting up and heading to the door.
All right, and we will stop there for tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, I guess thank you everyone for watching tonight's episode of Andromeda Adventures. We will see you next week. And I guess with that, say goodnight, Lillith.
Good night,
Good night,
Lilith.
Night.